If you're watching this and you have absolutely no money whatsoever, then here are 5 things you need to do, not can, need to do right now to make your first $10,000. And honestly, you need to do this until you make your first 100,000, because all of these points can and will help you. And before I get into point number 1, if you don't know who I am, it's the first time seeing me, I made my first $1 million at 25 years old, and since then I've made well over 8 figures. So I know a thing or two about money, how to get money, how to save money, and how to grow money. So without further ado, point number 1, do not be afraid to reinvent yourself. And what I mean by that is, if you look at my story, I reinvented myself so many times to do so many things that allowed me to make $10,000 and $100,000. And it's gonna tie back into trading in a second, but just bear with me for a second, right? People want to make you feel bad for trying new things out. Do that, because with my story, in 2014, I came across trading for the first time. But also at that time, I was playing college basketball, and I thought my dream was to play basketball overseas. Then in 2015, I became a battle rapper and then immersed myself in the battle rap culture at every single event, doing battle rap, everything, right? And then in 2016, 2017, I started doing funny viral skits online, like literally just like the people who do the funny skits and yada yada. I started doing that. My whole Instagram feed was full of funny skits, thinking that is gonna be the way to, make me my first $10,000 and my first $100,000, because I'm seeing people making funny skits and they're getting money, right? At least so I thought. I didn't know people like Ha Ha Davis had 4 million followers and was living in his mom's basement with no money in his account, right? I didn't know that at the time, right?
I was in my mama's basement, I was broke. Almost 4 million followers, I was still broke.
Did that. Then after that, tried to reinvent myself again and package myself and went on reality TV. Your boy Swaggy C wants to win right out the gate. I'm showing the house guests that I'm here. I'm setting the tone for Big Brother 20 that Swaggy C is here to play.
Congratulations, Swaggy C.
Bang him in the head. You see who wins. Swaggy C, I'm here. I'm the greatest. I won the first competition like I said I would. Was there ever a doubt? One time for the hug.
Congratulations, Swaggy C.
Bang him in the head times 2. I won the first competition and then I just smoked Angela. It's getting too easy out here. You cannot beat Swaggy. Now all the power is in Swaggy's hands and I get to decide everybody's fate. And it's marvelous.
Congratulations, Swaggy C.
And immerse myself in that culture because, the grand prize is $500,000. There's my first 10,000. There's my first 100,000, right? I can get rich from that. And then I obviously lost both shows. But the entire time I was reinventing myself, I was still trading and learning how to trade the entire time. And the one thing that got me rich was trading. Right? Literally, that was the one thing, the foundation that got me everything I wanted to get to. The private jets, my mom retired, my brother, working with me and my wife being very, very happy, 2 nannies, the private chef, big mansion. Like, it started with trading. So when I say don't be afraid to reinvent yourself and how it applies to you is that when you are trying to learn something like, let's say, trading and then drop shipping, do not be afraid to reinvent yourself. Now, I will say, all of those things, in my opinion, kind of threw me off. And if I didn't do those things, then maybe I would have been rich a lot faster had I just stuck with trading. But so many people are in industries right now where if they just stick with something for 7, 8 years, they may make it. They should make it after putting so much time into it. But the issue is they fall out of love with it. And for me, I like so many different things, but the reality is my family was homeless growing up. So I just wanted to just be rich and make money. And for me, I don't regret the things because it allowed me to meet certain people. On reality TV, I met my wife, who is the mother of my beautiful kids, right? Had to do that, right? When I was doing the funny viral skits, I got and battle rap, I got super close with Hitman Holla, right? So that's like my brother now, right? Even in basketball, I never went overseas, but like I still play basketball as if I'm in college basketball playing to this day, right? I be doing the workouts and everything, right? Everything happened for a reason. Don't be afraid to reinvent yourself, but realize that there's one piece of thing that you're focusing on that's going to make you rich. Go all in on that thing. Everything else is just filler, and they're not helping making you rich. They're just helping you and meeting certain people and X, Y, and Z. Do the one thing that's gonna get you rich, and you know what that is. Now, number two, this kind of goes hand in hand with number one. Your dreams will not pay the bills. You need to get a job or learn a skill. And what I actually mean by that is all the dreams that you have of being a successful trader or a successful business person, that's not gonna pay the bills. Now, however, I can sit here and actually argue that getting a 9-to-5 job may pull you away from your actual dreams and it's not as cohesive, right? So I'm somebody of the belief of, I tell people all the time, learn a skill so that you can work from home so that you have more time to pour into that actual dream is gonna make you rich, like number one. So prime example, if we're being honest and real, like I got rich obviously and from the foundation being trading. However, I made my first $10,000 like babysitting, right? Because that was the thing I needed to do, right? Because you get $5,000 a month, obviously 2 months, 10,000, right? That was the thing that if I didn't babysit and find something outside, and this is again how it helps you because to make your first $10,000, right? When you want to put so much into yourself and make 10,000 or 100,000 from trading or drop shipping or business, working a 9-to-5 job is hard because you got to get up, wake up in the morning, you can't be late, sit in traffic, commute, do the work, 1 hour break, come back home, commute, boom. Like most of your day is gone. Now you're tired, and I can understand some people who just like, I just want to watch the game. I understand that, or just relax, or X, Y, and Z, right? But that's your fault, right? I'm not saying quit your 9-to-5 job right now. What I'm saying is, in the hours of that 9-to-5 job, if you are not trading on a prop firm or have been trading for a long time, I can argue that it's more beneficial to learn something quicker, because trading may take 2, 3, 4 years. Something quicker like videography, graphic design, email marketing, social media marketing, right? Something along those lines. My videographer, Austin, my first videographer, Austin, he said he was only doing videography for 1.5 years before I hired him, right? And then with Austin, he ended up with getting a 6-figure check, then ended up using that money to start his own business, right? Like sometimes like your path is like, it's not straight up like everybody thinks it is. It's like up and then it comes down a little bit, goes to the right, and then it goes up again, right? So sometimes you gotta learn something else and put pain and time into that to get to where you wanna get to, right? Like that's just the reality. So with me, I could have just sat at home and traded all day, but you gotta pay bills, right? So babysitting was that. So learn a skill that gives you the free time, because the reason I ended up getting good at trading was because babysitting paid me like a 9-to-5. However, I only had to babysit 3-4 hours a day. So even when I'm babysitting, when they're asleep, I'm just on my laptop learning trading. So dreams don't pay the bills. Learn a skill that can allow you to more flexibility to, pour into your overall dream and goal. Number 3, skip the mother effing parties. I don't know how many times I have to say this, and people think I'm joking. You are not going to get to where you want to get to. The majority of you are not, by working Monday through Friday, putting a little bit of emphasis on your dreams, and then partying, Friday and Saturday, and then recovering on Sunday. Alex Hormozi said that when he said, when you go out drinking, it's not just one day you're wasting. You're wasting the day you drink and the day you got to recover, because you're not your best self when you're hungover, right? And I am allowed to say this because I know what got me rich, right? So I can say flat out, I literally skip parties every single week, right? Like, and this may sound cheesy, but I said it all the time. When people went out and celebrated, then that's literally when I separated. Like I separated myself because I knew that the gap was gonna get wider and wider and wider. So when you wanna make your first $10,000 online or trading or whatever it is that you wanna do, that's gonna be very hard when you are out here partying, and you may think it's very, very simple. Like you watch this video, like you're watching this, like let's say poor, don't have no money right now. Why did you go out with your friends last weekend? Why did you go to dinner like 2 weekends ago, right? Like, this is where you have to be in a cave in your home and just work every day. It's gonna be boring, it's gonna be mundane, right? But like, you look up 2-3 years from now, then you can do all that type of stuff. So that's what I committed myself to, where it's like, I lived the boring life for 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, so that now that I'm 29 years old, I made my first million by 25, so you can say 25, right? Obviously, but I'm 29, right? So by 25 years old, I was living the life I wanted to live that most people don't live until, like, first of all, most people don't live the life I'm living ever. But if you were to get that, most people got to wait till they're 50 to like get their first million. I did that at 25, half the time, because I skipped. So I you know how like much things can get done when you have an extra day or extra 2 days on your calendar? Like, you have an extra 2 days on your calendar to getting more hours. Do that, every single month. That's 8 extra days. So over a year span, it's over 96 extra days that you're putting in, not even including the extra hours you're putting in on a Monday or Tuesday or Wednesday. Skip them. Now, I will say the caveat is, because for me, when I was studying, for you guys, what I will say from advice is do what I just said, lock yourself, don't do anything. But the minute you feel so tired, I don't mean sleepy tired, I mean like so tired that everything you're learning, like you feel like your brain is gonna explode, then it's okay. Go out for a party, go have fun, get your mind off of everything you're doing right now, just to like alleviate yourself. Like, you have a cheat meal when you're eating healthy for a reason, right? Cool, go out. Because even with myself, I literally never partied. But when my brain every 6 months, 7 months, 8 months felt like, okay, it's about to explode, I'm learning too much, analysis paralysis, I would go see my friends in Boston or Jersey for the weekend, take 1 weekend off out of 52, right? Or 1 out of 36, right? Like, or 1 out of 30, right? So that so much time was being compounded. You're not gonna make your first $10,000 or $100,000 online by going to parties every single weekend, unless your job relates to partying. We're talking about people who are strictly here for trading and business purposes. Like, you need to be in your room, period, point, like, end of story. Number 4, use everything as motivation. When you are making your first $10,000 online, what people gotta realize is, it's not necessarily the skill that's always the reason you get to $100,000. It is the trauma in your life. It's the people that effed you over. It's the people that doubted you. It's your ex-girlfriend, your ex-boyfriend who left you and said you never amount to anything. Barbara Corcoran from Shark Tank has said the reason she became so successful and rich, yes, because she understands real estate, understands money. However, it was motivated by her ex-boyfriend leaving her for the assistant.
The best thing that ever happened to me in my career was my boyfriend leaving me and marrying my secretary. I couldn't believe it. I thought I was an old lady, would never have another boyfriend. He told me, you'll never succeed without me. And what the power of an insult can do for a girl. And every time I wanted to give up over the next 20 years, I would think about him laughing at my failure. And I would think of one more idea to try, one more something to bring us across the finish line. I don't believe that's how you motivate people, but it obviously was my style.
Like, for the secretary, right? So like, when you come from a place of using things as motivation, that is going to get to you to where you want to get to so much faster than just, I'm just doing it to do it, right? So myself, how did I get rich by 25? Oh, my dad died at 19. My girlfriend who I loved left me at 19, I think 18, 19 years old, right? My dad died at 19. My ex-girlfriend left me at 19. You use things as motivation, and then boom, you get so far in your journey. I have a Snapchat that I just saved on my phone somewhere that I found where I would like record myself if I heard something motivational, right? So there's a Snapchat right here where my mom, and I forgot this even existed, right? My mom literally flat out said, mom on the phone talk about we need to win the lottery. This is me recording myself, like literally this was 2017. Like, I overheard my mom on the phone saying, "We need to win the lottery to get out of this situation because I don't know how we're gonna get out the hub." And I'm just like, do you not believe in my dreams and what I got? Bet, right? So that was when he used everything as motivation. I would be in the living room and look in my mom's room and see her crying over a bill, and then I would take a picture of her like crying over that bill. She'd go to work. I'd go to her room the next morning, and the bill would be like $80 if she couldn't afford it, right? Use everything as a motivation, because I'm telling you right now, you just trying to get to where you want to get to is not enough to get there. It's something that's gonna push you. Cause like, go back to point number 3. You're not gonna be able to skip the parties and the dinners if you're just doing it to do it. But if somebody doubted you, somebody screwed you over, you have a bigger reason, you wanna prove your mom right, you wanna do it for your dead relative, X, Y, and Z. When you keep that in your mind, it's so easy to be like, nah, I'm good. I got bigger things I need to focus on right now. I'm good. Not too worried about it. I'm fine. And skip these events. You have to use everything as motivation. You never know when that time is gonna come that you're successful. And when you're successful, I can tell you from personal experience, it is actually cool to look back at that and be like, wow, I was really in that exact moment. I take screenshots. I have screenshots on my phone of my old bank account when it had $0 in my checking. I was overdrawn on my credit card and negative dollars in my savings account, right? Or the opposite, 0 on my savings, negative something in my checking account, it was overdrawn, and then same with my credit card, over the limit, right? Use everything as motivation. And lastly, delay the gratification. Have patience. The longer you can delay how fast you want to be rich, the bigger and the more successful you will be. What I mean by that is, you can't go into this thinking, oh, I'm going to be rich by 25 like Swaggy or X, Y, and Z. And because if you don't do it, then you're going to be a failure. I told myself one time this at 19, before I even knew anything. By 19, when everything happened with my personal life, I said, by 19, I want to be on TV 3 times. I want to be a millionaire and all my student loans paid off. And by 25, that happened. But when I was 22 and 23, really getting deep in this industry, I literally told myself, if I could just try to get to 100K next year, I'd be great. I'd be very, very happy, very, very, blessed, X, Y, and Z. And I didn't look at 0 to a million right then. I was like, all right, let me go from 0 to 10K, 10K to 100K. Okay, 100K to 500K. Okay, 500K to a million. I slowly tried to go up that ladder, but I didn't give myself a time on when that needed to be completed by. And that's where the whole reinvent yourself comes into play, where it's like, something is going to get you there. But you can't say by a certain age. Stop keeping up with people on Instagram. Stop keeping up with the Joneses. Stop doing all of that, right? If somebody told you right now, you will be filthy rich. I mean, like so rich that like you don't even know what to do with the money. By 38 years old, but you're right now watching this at 23, so you have 15 years. Would you take it, right? Prime example, like I'm dead serious. Watching this right now. If somebody told you you can go on the exact path you're on right now, there's no guarantee you'll ever be rich, but it's your path. If you get rich next year, you do. If you don't, you don't. But it's your path right this second. Or somebody is like the Matrix, right? Has this pill in their hand where it says you can guaranteed right this second have $30 million, and you will have $30 million by the time you're 38. You just got to go through the journey, go through the motions, X, Y, and Z. But you won't hit your first, million till 33, and then by 38 you'll have $30 million. You are going to take this because this is not necessarily guaranteed. You don't know X, Y, and Z because you're trying to get rich by next year. You may be a failure. So this is what I mean by don't put a time limit, because you guys are putting time limits on it, not even knowing that if you didn't, you would be rich by 31. You'd be rich by 38, rich by 42. There's so much life to live when you're that age. You're not old. Like people think we're old. We're not old, right? I see the people I look up to in terms of Alex Hormozy being 6 years older than me, Gary Vee being, a decade and a half older than me, right? Almost 2 decades. I don't know how old Gary Vee is. I know I'm 29, right? Like, and they look so young. They look like they're enjoying life. So what I'm saying is, the longer you can delay when you'll get rich by, the bigger you'll become, but also you'll realize how faster it comes, right? Like I never said to myself at 23, yeah, I got 2 more years left. 24, I got 1 more year left to make $1 million. No, just like, I'm just gonna go through this journey and try my best and just go back to follow these points. Number 3, skip the parties, right? And number 2, dreams don't pay the bills, right? And make sure that I try to get an extra skill set, right? Like things like that. Number 1, use things use things as, actual motivation, right? Following these steps is literally what made me my money. So I'm not telling you this from theory. I'm telling you this from clear-cut personal experience, period, end of story. Delay how fast you want to be rich and stop focusing on people who do this. You can save them as motivation, but don't look at them as, I got to get there next year because they got there at 25. I can say flat out, Mark Zuckerberg had $1 billion company, when I was broke, right? When I had nothing, right? I was literally, obviously I was still a kid. I was in the 7th grade when Facebook was popping, right? And so I could have looked at that when I was 12 years old as like, oh, well, by the time I get to 21 and 22, 23, I want to have a social media company that makes $1 billion. No. So look at people as motivation, but don't rush your own process. And you do that, you will make your first $10,000 online, let alone your first $100,000, and you'll be a lot happier. Hey guys, if you don't know who I am, my name is Chris Williams, aka Swaggy C. I've been trading for a decade. I've been running businesses for the last 5. I'm a multi-millionaire who lives in Puerto Rico and Dubai, split time between both. Beautiful wife, beautiful kids. I live the ideal dream life that I envisioned for myself when I was 19 years old. And my only purpose is to give you the resources that I have and that I came across over these last 10 years. And that's via the online platform I have at Deep Pockets and on YouTube for free. My only purpose is to make sure that you guys understand financial literacy, what to do with your money. First of all, how to get money, what to do with your money, how to save money, and why it's so important to put this at the forefront of your mind. So I hope you guys enjoyed that video. If you did, please make sure you subscribe below and comment on the video and leave a like, because that's the only way I'll know if you guys like the video and enjoy it. It literally said 51% of my people who watch my videos are not even subscribed to me. So please just go down and subscribe to the channel. I'm trying to grow this channel as big as I possibly can get and give value and reach the masses. So I appreciate you guys, and see you guys in the next video.